All right, Daniel, we're going to look at the TrackMan fundamental, which is called launch direction. And so that's just going to kind of look at what causes the ball to start where it does. So we're going to have you hit a shot, and then we'll take a look at some numbers and explain what that fundamental is.
Okay, excellent.
All right, Daniel, let's take a look at that last shot there. Those are some pretty good numbers. So, the first thing is we've got a pretty good wind from right to left. So, I mean, that's going to push the ball a lot further left than what it would if it was calm out here. So we got to take that into account. But the thing that we need to understand is it's not going to affect what happens at impact, and it's not going to affect how that ball initially takes off. It's only going to affect the end result. So we saw that the ball went a little bit left of target line, but if we look at these numbers, those are actually really good draw numbers. So we had the face angle at 1 degree open to the target, and we had the club path at 4 degrees open to the target. So those are good numbers for a nice draw that's going to come back to the target line. We saw the ball started at 1.8 degrees relative to the target. So the first thing that we notice is that the launch direction is in between face angle and club path.
Correct.
And that's always going to happen. And the next thing that we're looking at is that the launch direction is a lot closer to face angle than it is to club path.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen as well. And there's been some confusion over the years as far as what makes the ball start in the direction that it does. But we've been able to see through TrackMan that with an iron, it's about 75% give or take, and then with a driver, it's about 80% give or take. So, we can see that launch direction is a lot closer to the face angle. As a tour professional, what is it that you're thinking about when you're trying to hit a shot with some shape on it?
Yeah, I actually like how you have these numbers set up here, because this launch direction is always going to be between the face angle and the club path, and that's kind of the image that I put in my mind when I'm going to hit a shot. I kind of see these different lines out there, similar to what the TrackMan can do on the camera, where it has the launch direction in between the face angle and the path. So when I'm on the course, I actually, I'll set that face up, and I know, okay, if I want this ball to be drawing into this flag, the face has got to be just a little to the right. It's got to be a hair open to my end target, and then my club path needs to be even a little more open than the face to create the proper launch direction to create a draw back toward the target.
Okay. And what would happen if you were in one of those tricky situations where you're right behind a tree? I mean, how are you going to set up in that situation?
Yeah, I mean, that's a make or break situation. Either your face is correctly lined up and you just miss the tree to the left, or you didn't quite get it right and you hit the tree and it goes out of bounds, But I do, that's one of the most important things. If I'm trying to hit a low hook around a tree, number one priority is get the face angle correct, because that controls the start line. So I make sure, I'll pick that spot out with that face, and I'll line that perfectly up to that. And then if I want to hook it, a lot or just a little bit, then I'll either swing out a little bit more or a little less. But the face angle is king.
And you're not going to point the face directly at that tree.
No way, no way.
All right.
I'll hit myself.
That's good to know. All right, so what we're going to do now is let's go ahead, we'll grab a driver.
Okay.
We'll hit a driver and see if anything changes or if we're seeing the same type of numbers.
Excellent.
All right. So as we can see here, on that particular shot, your face angle was 0.3, so just barely to the right of our target.
Mm-hmm.
And then your club path was moving into out 4 degrees. So again, pretty good numbers for a draw type shot there. Both of the numbers are positive, which is what you're going to want, and then you're going to want the face close to the path, which is going to create a draw back towards the target. And then we can see here that again the launch direction's in between these two numbers and much closer to what the face angle is.
Yeah, almost matching up perfectly. Again, it's that 80% or so what you were saying with the driver.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, is there anything, I would imagine there's not really anything different that you think of when you have a driver in your hand versus an iron, or is there when you're doing that kind of setup?
Yeah, I think the idea is similar. Depending on the type of curve that I want, you shift, your body lines accordingly. You leave the face, you know, obviously where you want the ball to start, and then you shift your body lines to get the curve. So, but obviously, you know, if I wanted to hit a really big draw, maybe I'd try and get this face angle a little more about 2 to compensate for the, you know, for the larger curve right to left. So if I'm really hitting a really big draw, I may want that a little more to the right, you know, or open, you know, to, let's say 2 degrees, and then the path, let's go 7 for a nice big draw, you know. But the key is, if I am going to hit a big draw, this face angle can't be 0. It's got to be even further to the right.
Yep, definitely. Otherwise, it's going to end up left of your target.
Yep, exactly.
Perfect. That's great. Thank you, Daniel.
You're welcome. Thank you.